All right. We have a student spotlight today with Jessa. Nice to see you again. Mostly because we spent a lot of time together end
We
of last
have.
year.
That was
With
rough.
you. Yeah, that was rough. So I want to tell you. Okay, so just to tell everybody else really quick. So we went through. You were my first tester for testing out my website building system with inside of the academy. Basically, that I was trying to start up with a website editor that I hired from Bangladesh, and I had high hopes for her, and she was a disaster. And I was like, okay, like, thanks for working with us. But we ended up making a super cute website for you in the end. It just
It
took
did. It
like
like turned out well.
yeah, we just had to jump through a million hoops. So I wanted to tell you actually right now I am testing out a new guy. Different, totally different person. And I've already had some red flags. He's already been
Oh
like
no.
he
Oh
just, like, wants
no.
information right now, and I'm like, Okay." Like, I don't know if he's, like, super excited or what, and I'm like, "This could either go bad again or this could be really good." I'm not sure, but I'll let you know.
Like it would have been less frustrating had it not hit like right during the fourth quarter because I was so slammed and I was like, oh, I was glad that you were there because I was at the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm good. Like I'll just finish it myself. It's fine.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I made sure to put on my application this time for website developers. I was like, "Must have an eye for design," because you can't just know how to put something up. Like, I need you to actually know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like
that was and it seemed like every time like you'd ask her to like fix this and this, like she might fix those things, but then something else that was previously fine would suddenly be wrong. And it was like, wait, I didn't ask you to fix that. That was fine. Now it's wrong. Like what's going on?
yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is just such a lesson. Like, at first it was, like, a little annoying, and then it just became laughable. We're
Yeah,
like,
well, and I
"Okay."
that's why I messaged you as I was like, am I communicating wrong? Because like I know I'm not like the best with technology, but I just feel like she should be able to handle this, but maybe not.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that's just like a lesson in all of every part of art business. It's like everything that's gonna go wrong, like, you just don't even know what's gonna go wrong until it does, and you're like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay."
sorry.
Oh, you're
Sorry. Luna, come here. Come here. Sorry about that. I'll
good.
just hold her for a minute.
Okay.
The neighbors have a new puppy and she's got like this vendetta against it every time they bring it out. I don't know why.
Mm,
So
damn puppy.
I
Yeah.
know those puppies. You know, it's going to eat you. It's way bigger than you. Yes. Okay.
Okay, I guess we should get started. Do you have any questions for me right off the bat?
I do. So, like, a lot of my questions are kind of intermingling. Like, they kind of all like coincide with each other to like an extent. But, like, I guess like the biggest one is like, what are your tips on kind of juggling a full time job and your art business and then making that transition from, you know, from full time job to full time artist? Because so I guess like to give you a bit of a backstory. So my
Yeah.
mom she's a disabled vet. And so for the last few years, I've had to kind of be her caretaker for a little bit and like help her a lot. So I haven't been able to go as hard with my art business as I've wanted to, just because I can't get so busy that I'm not able to be there for her. But things are a lot better now. And so for the last year and a half, I've really been going hard and I've been definitely seeing the progress, but like I don't know if I'm just impatient, but I'm kind of like I'm pooped now. Like I would like to finally get over that hump, but I've been really struggling with getting more clients and like definitely getting past like the $500 threshold. It seems like I don't know if it's just because like I live in a rural area and like with the economy everybody's really tight with their money, but it's definitely been an uphill battle and like I am seeing progress but just not as fast as I would like to. So I would like to hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I feel you. So what kind of things are you wanting to sell?
Well, so I do a lot of like, commissions, like wooden signs. Like my ornaments are huge during the holidays. They're not like a huge money maker, but they do get people like to buy something and like get them, I guess, in the door. But I'm doing a lot of window painting, which is like my main source of income from my art right now. And then also like I'm wanting to branch into murals. I do have a couple mural projects coming up hopefully this summer. So I do think I have a few lined up. Plus I'm going to be just practicing on my mom's pole barn. But Um, those are some things I'm really wanting to do. But every time like I get close to like going past the 500, they're like, "Oh, can we get it back down so it's under 500?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Dang
So
it.
it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I think every artist has this problem too. It's just like
Right.
nothing happens as quickly as we want, and it's just yeah, it can be really disheartening. And there's a number of things we can do. I kind of want to figure out what you're already doing. Are you on Thumbtack?
I'm not on Thumbtack. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it that you're kind of spending a lot of money and not always getting like the correct leads. And so I've been kind of like back and forth and if I really want to try that or not yet, especially since I'm not making, I feel like quite enough yet to really want to like invest that much money in leads. More so, I guess, because of my full-time job. I work from 7:30 to 5, like 5 days a week. So
Wow.
like yeah, it's a lot. And then like I'm balancing like I teach martial arts and then I'm also like doing my art business. So it's like I only have like certain amounts of time and I don't want to like get these leads and I have a lot of them that I have to turn down because they're like, you know, half a state away and I'm not able to, get that done in the time frame they want. Maybe that's
Yeah.
just me being concerned. Maybe I'm just being having excuses, but
Yeah, no. So I would still try it and I
okay.
would so just sign up for it and you can set your location and
Okay.
you can set when you're available too. And you can be as really specific on your profile. And yes, the first couple you probably won't get, but you can also set your max lead price. And it kind of depends on your area of what your lead price is. I think my max, I think I pay like 20 some dollars, maybe 30 some per lead. Um, but I typically get, and I live in a rural area too, kind of, and it's not that hopping around here. But my friend Samantha is on it, and she like I think has her reach a little bit more hours. I don't know, but she's really on it, and so she like responds really quickly, and so she gets several things. I'm kind of lazy about it. So, but it really just kind of depends on like how much you want it, how quickly you respond is a really big one, and then what you say in your response. I try to get them on the phone as soon as possible and just give them maybe you could maybe even give them a budget range. So any question they would have for you, just try to answer really quickly so that way they can I don't know, there's not no like there's no wondering in their mind. So, because like if another
Okay.
artist comes on and is like, "Hey, I can be there, next week, and this is what I would charge," and this is well, like they just give them a bunch of information. They're probably going to go with that one first. And so, even though you'll probably need to talk on the phone about specifics, you can always change your price or whatnot. Like if they're like, "Oh no, my wall is actually a terrible texture," and be like, "Oh, okay, well that adds a couple $100 or whatever." I would just give them a price, maybe like a middle range price or
Okay.
like a maybe like when somebody is like, "Hey, I have a 10 by 10-foot wall and I need my logo painted." Um, I would just say, this typically runs about $1,500. Let me know when you can get on a call, and we can create a custom design for you. This is my number. And then hopefully they call quickly, or you can get their number and you can call them quickly because it's really just whoever sets it up first. And
Okay.
yeah, it's just it's a speed thing, but it can be really beneficial. It just depends on your area, and
Right.
so like you'll know, I mean, within the next few months, but you won't be spending like hundreds and hundreds of
Okay.
dollars.
That's what I
Yeah.
was worried about because like some people are like, oh, I'm spending all this money and I like I'm answering these leads and I'm getting nowhere. And I'm like, well, I'm not like I'm kind of in like the wanting to like build up my account so that way I can, quit my job eventually phase, not the I don't want to just keep getting ghosted. So I wasn't sure if that was a good option, but I will definitely give that a try and at least see if it works. If not, then, but
Yeah. Yeah, and you can set it to be as specific as you want it to be too,
okay.
and I kind of have that as an opt-out too, so, like, sometimes people will contact me about a mural and it'll be an automatic lead, so I'll automatically get paid for it, and they will say, "Hey, we need a mural with 5 people painted in it and this and that," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't do people," and so I
Right.
I actually put that on my profile. So that way I can request a refund and they can easily see, hey, I don't paint people is on my profile, but you guys charged me anyway. Give me a refund for that.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, it's just it makes the dispute a lot easier when you just have as much specific information as you can on your profile, things you don't want to do. It's like I did that when I was pregnant. I was like, can't work until March 1st or something like that or
Right.
whatever. And so that way that they're like, I need it painted next weekend. I'm like, nope, sorry, refund. Like it's yeah. So you could also put that on your profile, like, booking,
Okay.
I need 3 weeks or whatever, book time out. Yeah, that way,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes me feel a
So
little bit better.
I also do that because, like, I think that's a good idea because then if you don't get a lead or they stop responding to you and they're like, "Well, can you do it in 2 weeks?" And then they stop responding to you, you can always say, "No, this is on my profile. Give me a refund." But you can always try for it too. If they're like, "Oh, can you do it next week?" Be like, "Let me see. Can I give you a call?" And then if you actually have availability, they like you can do it. You know what I mean? Like, or if
Right.
you can. But I think it's just like the more opt outs you can get to get a refund on that thing, the better.
Okay.
But I'd probably just expect to have like maybe two or three that maybe fall through the cracks, and then you'll get one that's definitely worth the whole hassle.
Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better that I have a little bit more control over how that
Yeah.
works,
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. Yeah. Okay. So then doubling down on window painting, I think is a good idea. Have you ever taken a flyer around and did the thing?
So, yes and no. I haven't like just like walked around town, but I do have flyers that I have put up that I've like posted on social media. I've
Yeah.
taken them to craft shows, and I have like had a list of about like 50 plus businesses that I have been like messaging and like directly like, offering window painting services to them as well. So, like it's harder for me sometimes to get out and like go do flyers because of like my job and stuff. So, like a lot of
Yeah.
times when they're open, I'm working. So, I've been like finding other ways to do it, but I do have flyers and I have been putting them around. I just haven't like gone like store to store with them.
I gotcha. Yeah, I would if you have any time. I know you're super busy, but maybe like just pick a Saturday where you have like 1 hour and then you do like a speed one where you just go like around like maybe a shopping area. Obviously, chains aren't the best thing to go to, but
Right.
like the little boutiques, boutiques are really big around here for wanting window painting, even though they have and like what you'll find too is a lot of people will say, but no, I have my my storefront, I do a design or whatever with my clothing, then that's the attractant and be like, oh well, paint actually uh enhances the design and you can, we can add hearts all over like a heart frame all around for Valentine's Day or whatever. I know that's past, but like
Right.
just so that's gonna be the number one thing. Be like, oh no, actually I work with storefronts who have, this kind of thing all the time and we use window painting to enhance it. This is actually a lower budget option as well. You want me to do a quick mock-up for you? Or actually not even a mock-up, just like maybe if you have an example of something, that you can show them, be like, "Look how cute this is," or something
Right.
like that. I'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that
I
is pretty
actually
cute."
have a boutique coming up in 2 weeks that I'm doing, I think 10 windows. So that's awesome. I'm excited for that one. I'm
Awesome,
like,
yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah, and then so right now, so coming up is like a spring festival. So anybody that has, and you could even search on Facebook and see like spring festivals in your area and see what pops up. I don't know, we have Branson right up our,
Right.
right near, and so they like different places there do like different spring events. So I think that would be your best bet is like anybody that's doing a spring event. Um,
Like for window painting,
yeah.
like the downtown areas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or even if you wanted to propose, like, a photo op for their events or something, like, anybody who's throwing an event is a good in if you wanna just search Facebook events and then see who's putting it on and say, "Hey, I saw you're having an event. I actually do painting for events to enhance the experience of customers. Is there anything that, where would you like to schedule a quick call to talk about the possibilities, and then maybe just have a couple things in your back pocket of like, we could do a photo op, where like their heads cut out or something kind of a thing. I would just
Right.
have, you'd even just search Google really quick, and that way you have just like 5 different examples of events. It's like things that events, maybe they need their sign painted, maybe they need, um, I don't know, something, but events spend money, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, any kind of spring events or what's coming up. Actually, St. Patrick's Day is coming up this weekend. Maybe,
Right.
I mean, I don't know that you have time though, but
Right.
or
I might this
Easter.
weekend, but
Yeah,
yeah,
anybody who
Easter's
has,
coming up.
yeah, yeah, or like, I don't know, like churches, do they do Easter events? Surely, right? Like,
I, I would
I
assume like I don't know, like my area is like it's pretty small, so there's not as much stuff here.
don't
But
know.
like I am fairly close to like Muskegon and Grand Rapids, so like those are bigger areas, but Grand Rapids about like an hour and a half, 2 hours from me. So I kind of have to like
Ugh,
really want to go because I only have a limited amount of time to paint. So like I
yeah,
don't want to spend the whole time traveling if that makes sense. But like for the
yeah,
right price, obviously I would do it. But
yeah. Are you, oh, I had a question. Oh man, what was it? Oh, yeah. Is there any way that you could do part-time eventually at your
well,
job?
that's my goal. That's my goal. I'm just not quite there yet. Like I don't have enough that's like consistently coming in. Like there's certain times of the year, like the fourth quarter, I had 46 commissions, 3 craft shows, and 5 window jobs that I did, and I was like dying. But then like after that, it's like dead. It's like okay,
Yeah.
like well that's nice for that time, but now I kind of need it to pick back up. And right now I just did one this yesterday. I did a window for a landscaper, and then I have 2 more bigger jobs coming up. But then after that, I don't have anything, and it's very sporadic like that. So I guess I'm not expecting it to be super consistent because I know being an artist, like like it's feast or famine kind of, like there's high times and then there's low times. But like I need to be a little bit like more consistent and know that I'm getting like bigger jobs when I am getting them.
Yeah, for sure. Is there, so I love your style. It's so fun. Like,
Thank
not
you.
just say I love your style. I just saw the windows you did the other day and I was like they're very similar to the ornaments that you did. And it's just like a very just fun style. And I was thinking, what if if you ever were to go part-time, and then you did part-time with your art, and maybe you could pick up, have you ever thought about doing like book illustration jobs? You just have such a fun style for that kind of
I
thing.
have thought about that. I think that would be really fun. I'm not sure how you go about getting those, but I would
Thumbtack?
definitely be interested. Thumbtack?
Yep,
Okay.
they
So put that
so
as a possibility.
oh, yeah, like, and you,
Okay.
yeah, and if you, so I would dive a little bit into the resources that Jody has here in the academy, and so she has a contract, we do videos, of her, just explaining exactly how to do illustration jobs and all the things, because whenever she was going full-time, she tried out Thumbtack, and then she was like, "Yeah, I can do some illustration stuff." And so she just like she's done several, and she's done her own books as well. And so she knows definitely like how to format and all the things, and she loves it. And she'll tell you like how much you can charge per page and all of that. I'm
Okay.
actually looking into that right now for my own little book. So it's like I've always wanted to like write and illustrate a children's book just in my spare time, whatever that is. but
Right.
but I don't know. It's something, and like, yeah, if you, I remember in the beginning when I was on Thumbtack, I just wanted anything, and I was like, yeah, I can illustrate, yeah, I can do that, and then I just started getting so many illustrate, because it's like you don't have to depend on your area, right? And so you can
Right.
do it anywhere, like anybody across the United States, and like or anywhere. Really,
And
I
I'm
had,
really good at that type of art as well. So I feel like
yeah,
that would be a good fit for me.
yeah, I noticed like you're like the small ornaments and whatnot. You're really good at like the small details, and yeah. So,
Thank you. I didn't mean that to sound braggy. I was just mean like
oh
that is
no,
like a
girl.
good style for me. I didn't mean for it to come out that way.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, that just might be a good, like, filler. I don't know,
Okay.
but also, like, I don't know if you were ever to go full time, like, I have a there's a couple of artists in this area. Whenever they have a downtime, I'm like, just take a flyer and go downtown and just go and try to get more window jobs. And you're gonna get 20 no's, but you're gonna get a couple yeses that turn into more yeses, as you
Right.
know. And so like window jobs, I think are a really good filler as well.
Well, I
Um,
did get like a few, like they were like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And then like I would be like, "Okay, so you want me to go ahead and get you scheduled?" And I'm like, "Okay." Like so I'm like, "I guess I'll reach out again."
oh my
Like,
gosh.
I mean, like the one place was like, "Oh, absolutely. Like we want to get those done this spring." I'm like, "Okay, great. Would you like me to go ahead and get you on my schedule? Like what would be a good time for you?" And like they stopped answering. I'm like, "All right." It's so frustrating.
Yeah. I wonder, are you on the, website Book an Artist?
No.
So
I
they
haven't
it's
heard of that one.
yeah, it's free to sign up, it's free to get leads, they just take
Okay.
20% of your profit, and I
Okay.
think
Write that down
it
too.
just depends on where you're at because I've had several inquiries, but they've been not in Missouri, and
Okay.
I don't yeah, but I have never had one that worked out, but I'm also, like, picky about stuff, about, like, lead because a lot of them, they're wanting me to go to, like, Texas and stuff, and I'm like, "I don't know," but, like, since you have the city near you, I think that would be like, that you might get a job via Book an Artist and then would travel, you know, but
Okay. Have
yeah.
you like had any like experience with joining the Chamber of Commerce? Because actually yesterday, some one of the ladies that's from the chamber invited me to join it, and she said that so like I'm sure you've heard of Gerber baby food. Like so Fremont, where I live, is actually the home of Gerber baby food. And so they have like a massive Gerber baby food festival in town every year. Like literally the whole downtown shuts down and like the whole back streets turn into a carnival. It's crazy. And I guess like the committee is wanting to have all the downtown windows painted for the baby food festival. And she told me that the people that are in the Chamber of Commerce are the first in lines for these jobs. So um, I was like, I haven't gotten the information on that yet, but I didn't know if you like heard if that's like a really useful thing to be a part of or anything about that.
Yeah, yeah, because they know they're connected to all the businesses, so
Right.
that's definitely a thing. Whenever usually I'll ask and see if, like, there's a bunch of artists in the chamber here, and since you live in a small town too, like, having a bunch of artists on the chamber, I don't know that it would be super beneficial unless you are just a different kind of artist, like, you're the window painter and muralist, and then there's another one who does something else, like pet portraits or whatnot. Like, then if
Right.
that would be beneficial. You could yeah, I'd say just try it out. Like,
Okay.
if they're reaching out, try it out. You can always quit after a year if you're like, "Okay, this isn't, like, b
Right.
benefiting me at all," but, um,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure there's actually only one other artist.
okay.
And I think she's starting for it's a small area. Like it's not Springfield small, it's like smaller.
Yeah.
There is one muralist that is here. And she used
Okay,
to do a lot but I know she's older now and I don't see her doing near as much as she used to. Like I think she's only doing jobs like if she wants to now. So I think she's the
okay,
only other person that would be on there because there are no other like artists in the area that do anything similar to what I do. So like I
perfect.
do have the corner on the market in that in that way, but getting everybody else to get on board with that is the trick.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, living in a small town is so great in so many ways, but then it's like, yeah, you almost have to, like, talk people into it. They're like, "What? You want you want us to pay you to do what?" But
Right.
don't you wanna do that for fun?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have so many people that are like, "Oh, that's such a great hobby you have." And I'm like, "Well, I get paid, but thanks."
Exactly.
It's like, "Well, I mean, I'm
Oh.
getting paid, but yeah, it's a nice hobby that I'm paying my bills with, but thanks."
Yeah. Oh my god. That's so funny. Okay. Well, yeah, okay, well, it definitely sounds like this opportunity would be very beneficial then, especially if
Okay.
that's the only competition of a lady
Right.
that's
That's what I was like.
really
Was
wanna
like, well, and then if there's any more like events like that, then I would be like first in line for the job. So I think that would be good. But I didn't know. I mean, I haven't done anything like that before, so I just wondered what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I have a little experience, like, doing a little bit of stuff in Springfield and then, the surrounding areas, and it hasn't been super beneficial, but I've talked to other artists who it has been in different
Okay.
areas, and so I know that my experience might not be the standard, so it's yeah.
Right. I
'Cause
think it might be, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. Well, I was like, a lot of times, so the Chamber of Commerce, I don't think actually has a budget to do stuff. They have to get sponsors to pay for stuff because tried to do one thing through them, and they were like, "Well, we don't actually have money. We have to actually like fundraise to do it." I was like, "Okay, so do it." So
Right.
it was
Like,
like, "That's
okay, then
annoying."
why are you asking?
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, like, I do feel like it might be more beneficial in my situation just because Fremont is one of those areas that it's very clicky and it's all about who you know. And it is, like, everybody knows that, like, so I'm not actually from here, so, like, everybody's kind of
Oh.
like, like, with me, like, "Oh, like, who are you? Like, what are you trying to do here?" And everybody that comes in here that's new says the same thing, but so I think that might be a little bit beneficial if I'm part of the chamber because they do know all those people and they would be kind of, like, giving me that extra credibility that I'm safe even though I'm not from here.
Yeah. Um, are there any, like is there any art on the street? Like, any kinda, like, photo op stuff? Or
Not really photo op stuff. It's all from that lady that I said that is the other
oh,
muralist in town. It's all from her, and it's like from years ago. So there's
okay.
nothing really new that's come up. And then the lady that used to do the window painting here in town, I actually got her client list because she moved. And so she interviewed a few people and she chose me to take on her client list. But like the second I get them, everyone's like, no, I'm good. Like, what the
Yeah, that's weird.
heck?
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Was it last year? How it was a
Yeah.
while ago. How about how you were gonna take over her client stuff, and that's so it's so
Yeah, so, like, then
fickle.
I've messaged everybody, and then, like, almost, like, 90% of them are like, "No, we're not gonna do that anymore." And I'm like, "What? Why?" And I've, like, messaged them over and over, like, I've been, like, like, I know I could work on my social media, like, being more consistent, but I have a lot going on in my defense. But I,
Yeah.
like, try to post, like, all the jobs I'm doing, and, everyone's like, "Oh, that's so great," and it's just still, like, everyone's like, "No, we're done now." Like, "Okay."
Oh my gosh.
So I have gotten a few new ones on my own, which is great. I mean, I do have a couple from that list, but like most of them have like stopped doing it for one reason or another. So
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Dang. Well, you're doing
it's
great,
been
I just wanna say.
frustrating.
Like
Thank you.
I know that frustration though, especially in the beginning, like trying to get yeah. So I'd say for credibility, just painting something somewhere in a public space where people would see it all the time, that really helped me because I wasn't really
Right.
from the area either. And like they're like, oh, you painted those butterfly wings. Or it doesn't have to be butterfly wings or like a giant flower or a giant Gerber baby head or something. Like, no, not
Right.
that, not that. But
No, please no. I'm so sick of the Gerber baby head. Like, no offense. That's like all my town is like Gerber baby food. Like, I'm just sick of seeing it.
That's so funny. I wonder, since it is clicky, sometimes what I'll try to do is just find the top of the click person and then, like, do windows for them, and then
Right.
see other people trickle from that.
the the boutique that I'm actually doing, it's kind of funny because she's one of the people that's new here and she's like just like and she said the same thing and she's one of the first people that hired me to do her windows and I'm like I'm like super glad, but it's just
Yeah.
it's kind of frustrating like going to all these people and be like, "Okay, I know you did this before." Like, "I'm good too."
Yeah. Huh. Maybe okay, so you know that they have done it before. I think they just had an
Right.
attachment to that artist. It sounds it sounds like it, and they're just, like, somebody new. Like, either they had an attachment to that artist and they really loved her style and they're afraid that you're not gonna live up to it or something because 'cause you're younger or whatever, or they were like they had her and then they just liked her and they were almost doing her a favor by hiring her all the time, so and
Yeah, it could be.
now that they're out of that, they're like, "Okay, never mind." Like, um, so I don't know,
Well, and she
maybe
was like she's an awesome lady and I actually knew her from working someplace else previously. So I did like just know her on a personal level, but she was undercharging a lot. And so like the
Ugh,
clients I have that are hers, like I'm kind of been keeping it around the same price because I mean, I don't want to like, you know, sticker shock them by like being like, well, it's going to be like way more money because I'm happy to have the clients that I have. But like, I feel like maybe some of the other people are kind of going like, well, like they said it wasn't that much. Like, I don't know how much these people are talking to each other, but I almost wonder if maybe it's like kind of set a precedent now too that I'm charging a little bit more. But paint's a lot more expensive than it used to be. Everything's more expensive than it used to be, and I'm doing
yeah.
this because I do want to quit my job, so I need to be
Yeah.
paid.
Oh, okay, so the next town outside of yours is how far away? That's, like, slightly bigger?
So, well, not it's not slightly bigger. There's not really Fremont's the big one in this area. And then the others around it are smaller. And then like an hour away is Muskegon, and then like about an hour and a half, 2 hours away is Grand Rapids.
Dang,
So,
okay.
but I've been going to the other ones around me too. I've been going to like Hesperia, like White Cloud, Nuevo, like all the little other little ones around me. And I did one in Nuevo yesterday. So I got one in a different town. And I did do one in Muskegon in February. So that was good. But yeah, it's been
Yeah,
tough.
yeah, so I guess those really just hitting those businesses that are, that can afford it, I guess, in the other towns would be a good
Okay.
idea too.
That's what I've
Yeah.
been thinking. Maybe I just need to branch out into some of those bigger ones, even though it's going to be more to travel. I feel like maybe they might have more money and maybe they'll have less clickiness too, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think every town has a bit of a clique in a way,
Right.
even Springfield for sure. But I mean, even in those small towns around you, like the businesses that are doing really well that can afford it, there would just be less. But I mean, you're doing some already, so you're proven that you can get jobs there. So maybe there's a couple others and a couple others just really close to you surrounding that we can get to. I'm not giving up hope
Okay.
on completely on your area. I think, like, people have paid for it in the past, they can pay for it again, and I think if we just bug them enough,
Well, that's
then
what I'm kind of hoping, and I'm hoping like I am getting a few more businesses, so I'm hoping like, the more that the other businesses see that like, see, this is good, it's really cool, like they're gonna cave. So,
Even when I was starting out, I remember somebody hired me because I did something for the local Ford dealership, and I did their logo, and it was very simple, but I was like, "Yeah, I have Ford on my
right,
resume now." But, like, I mean, it was just, like, the local dealership. I wasn't, like, national Ford, but it was, like
right.
but I remember somebody hired me because they literally told me, they're like, "Okay, if Ford is gonna hire you, then I guess I'll hire you too." I was like, "Okay, thanks." Like,
Like,
if you're good enough
thanks.
for them, you're good enough for me. So it's like it's such a status thing,
It
like,
is.
ugh, but it's like, just use it. Is there if, like, there's anybody in your area? I mean, so, have you painted for Gerber at all? Like, is there a way?
No, I don't know if like there would be any opportunity for me to, because it's just a giant factory, so I'm not
Mm,
sure like if
yeah,
they do something like that.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe not then.
I mean, I have like had like, so the business owners that I have worked for and painted their windows, they've been like super happy, and they've been posting me and like blasting out like my social media, and like they've been super awesome. Like I have like the best clients. And so like, that's been helpful for sure. I just need to go a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm definitely not giving up hope in where you are. I think there's still some more potential. We just gotta find it. We just gotta, like,
Right.
be like, "Hi, do you remember me? Well, this is what I can do." Like, maybe just show them, like, "Look how cute my ornament or my latest, window painting is, because your stuff is really good." So,
Well,
I
thank
think it just
you.
maybe just show them. I mean, maybe they just need it to be in their face. Like, maybe, like,
Right.
"Look at this recent one I did," and, so
Sorry, my dog again.
you're good.
Before she
But
starts
yeah.
barking.
Yeah, maybe if you find just an hour on a Saturday. I know that
Okay.
most businesses are probably busy, at that
Right. And
time,
a
or
lot of time I'm painting on Saturdays, but like
yeah.
I do get a few free ones. So I'll definitely try that for sure.
Yeah, or even just like be like, okay, just like 1 hour today. Like, but maybe going out like whenever the business is first open. That way they're not, they're not super tired from the whole day. And they're not super busy too. They're just like they're opening, they're getting ready for the day. Hi, this is what I have. And look at the cute examples that I have. Would you like this too? Like,
Right.
yeah, maybe just like, yeah, just starting the day like that. It
Okay.
just really, it's just getting past the gatekeepers is the hardest thing. So just like leaving a flyer and then asking for a contact to say, would they be interested at all? The local Missouri State, they have an office downtown. So like the local college, they have an office downtown where they do some kind of like clerical work, but they have a big window. And I did not think that they were going to buy window art, but they did. And I was like, whoa, okay. And I just like left a flyer with them and they called me and I was like, okay, great. It's like, you just never know. It's like, obviously the
Right.
chains, maybe not, although I saw somebody doing one for Chick-fil-A the other day, because I guess they are like they have local. Oh yeah, no, Chick-fil-A's do have. Um, they are locally owned, kind of like they're franchised, so it's like they're local person, and they so one person owns one Chick-fil-A. They're not allowed to like own more, so it's like
Oh,
one
okay.
person who owns it. So if you have a Chick-fil-A in the area, I think they would hire.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I don't want to be like impatient, but I mean, I have been doing this for a few years. Like I said, there was like a while there where I couldn't like push as hard as I wanted to, but I definitely like kind of over having like a billion jobs at this point. I'm like, I'm kind of just ready to be able to go part-time at the very least and then hopefully go full-time from there. So
Yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure.
trying to get as much as I possibly can. And it's definitely been a grind.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we could try, I mean, so outreach would be one. It just
Okay.
for small towns, in person is definitely the best thing. But
Okay.
if you're wanting to do any big ones, I think maybe even just doing some outreach for and maybe you could like spend the weekend doing it in the far town or something. Like maybe like doing a little bit of outreach in that what is it called? Grand Rapids?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So if you wanna do, I think that would be a good area to do some outreach if you ever actually wanna go. That way you, like, you could just do it, from the computer and
Right.
call them and then set something up to go for, like, a weekend to paint, like, spend the night there or something. That
Right.
would be
I mean, I have no problems going there. I just want it to be worth my time if I
yeah.
do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think even just doing a bit of outreach there would be maybe
Okay.
would make it worth the time. Even, have you painted any for, like, schools in the area?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to convince the rec center here to let me do some murals and he's interested, but like he kind of keeps like waffling back and forth on it. Like he's like, "Well, I'm really busy right now. Try it a little bit later." So I'm like I'm like, "Okay, like well you just did this major thing, so I'm going to be like on him again." But
Yeah.
that's the closest I've gotten to that so far. But I would like to do schools. I mean, that's definitely something I'd be willing to do.
Yeah, yeah, they're really good. I have a meeting with the school in like 2 weeks, and it's so funny because it's like it just kinda depends on when they're ready to, and, like, whenever, it comes up in a board meeting, and it's like it's such a process with the school because it's basically like working with a committee. But even just planting that little seed of like, "Hi, I'm Jess, I'm your local, like, is there anything that you would like?" So whenever I do some outreach, I'll I'll do a, if you wanna do some school outreach, I say something in the subject of, tiger mascot mural, and then, like, so customize it and then say, "Hi, I'm Jess, I'm a local artist. I have a passion for creating, educational murals," or whatever, and, like, and
Right.
working with students to help develop their potential, something like that, and then just be like, "W would you have time for a quick call on Monday, to discuss some possible ideas that I have for your school walls, that could both brighten and inspire the students' creativity," something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, and then just see, and you just send like, I don't know, 20 in like an hour. Just be like boom, 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 and just change
Right.
like the mascot and just mention like, in the subject and then in the body, just be like, would you have time to discuss some ideas that I have for your tiger mural for a tiger themed mural, I guess, or something like that. That way you're like they're
Okay.
like it's to them. Um and I don't know, maybe like if you're really close to the school, just like, I'm just 10 miles down the road from such and such school. That really personalizes it too. Because I sent
Okay.
out the more you can personalize it, the better. Or maybe, just I don't know, just say if you're as close at all, just be like, I'm just not far from this school. Like just to like I'm really close to you. Like
Right.
anyway, it could definitely help because like the one that I got reached out to last year, my little with Big Brothers Big Sisters went to that school, and so I
Oh,
told them
okay.
that, and that's one of the ones that I got a call back from. So I was like, okay, great customization, and I mean, I never actually, so I met with them and they never went through with it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I need to follow up on that. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah. I have a whole list of people I have to follow up with. Like,
yeah,
we almost had a yes. Like, we'll try it again.
it's good that you have a list.
I do. Like I said, I had about like 50 businesses I've like gotten through in the last couple weeks. So like, okay, like here's my maybe list, like trying this again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that, and then just I think like the other thing I had too is just like trying to break through that like $500 threshold. Like I can't seem to break it. Like I don't know if you have any like suggestions for that. I mean, I've definitely been doing stuff that,
Yeah.
just whatever can come to me, but again, it's getting to that point where I would like to take on like some bigger jobs so that way I can get out of this cycle of just having to do a bunch of jobs all at the same time.
Yeah, so for me, like, selling a painting above $500 in my area is very hard for me. I like, unless somebody comes to me and wants it, like, completely custom and actually has a lot of money, then I it's just so hard. Like,
Right.
especially a painting that I create by myself, I'm like, it's just tough.
Right.
So
I'm talking
murals.
more like window paintings and
Oh,
murals and stuff
okay,
like
cool.
that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, because like, I was about to say murals are definitely the thing. Even getting window painting above $500 is kinda tough for me in
Yeah,
this
that's what I've
area.
found.
Yeah, yeah, and so okay, yeah, so focusing on murals and,
Okay.
um,
At
uh,
least that's normal then. I was
yeah.
starting to feel like I was doing something wrong. Like, I'm trying.
No, no, and even now, like, I just get a lot of $1,000 jobs or $1,500 jobs. I like $1,000 is like a really big logo for a business. And
Okay.
I think that too, like painting for businesses is a lot like, and not just small businesses, which I know is small businesses are a lot in the rural areas. So just like bigger businesses, I guess just focusing on the bigger ones that have a bit more high profit rates are they you just get yeses to the higher stuff.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, it's really just demographic based, other than
I know.
like, yeah, or
Like,
just like I know, yeah.
it's a shame. I was from Indianapolis. I feel like I could have just like gone to town there, but here it's like, this is a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so but, I yeah, if you don't mind traveling to Grand Rapids, then I'd say, like, that's probably where you're gonna find the bigger
Okay.
ones.
That's kind of what I was thinking, and I just kind of wanted
Yeah.
to hear your opinion on that because, like, I know that you're always like, "Oh, it's great to be in a small town," and I'm like, "It is," but
It is, but if
like, it's
it's
not working out so great right now. I mean, it's getting better, but it's slow, and I don't know that it's going to be able to support me like getting ready to quit my job in the time frame that I need it to.
what's the population of your town?
I don't know, maybe a couple thousand.
A couple thousand? Oh my god.
Well, in
Oh my
Hesperia, where I was from, there was only I think 800 people living
yeah,
there. And like
okay.
here, I think there's like maybe there might be a few thousand, but it's not. We do have a
Oh,
Walmart and a Myers, so there is that. But it's
that's
the
a
only
big deal.
place. It's the only place in the area. Like again, like another to get to another Walmart or Myers is like an hour away.
Yeah. Well, you are doing fan freaking tastic
Oh,
for
thank you.
the area that you are in. I just say and yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that. That makes me feel good.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I like, small towns are great, not that small, though. That's, like, small, small, 'cause I'm from an area where they have a lot of small towns, like 1,000 here, like a 300 there, like 2,000 there, and that's tough. It's a tough space.
Yeah.
There's a town not far from here, Marshfield, and I think they're like, oh gosh, I don't know. It's 15,000 maybe?
Mm,
And that has potential. Like that
yeah.
town that size is like, okay, we can do something there. But
Yeah,
it's like,
Springfield is like a metropolis compared to
yeah.
Fremont. Like we have like pretty much one strip. Like that's our town. Like we have a Walmart and we have a Meijer. And then like we have some other, businesses scattered throughout there, but it's not a large town and it's a farming town. Like the
Mm,
biggest things we have here are the Gerber like factory and then like the business I work for, which is an insurance company. But those are like the two like biggest things here as far as like employing people.
does your local Walmart have a mural yet? Because they're doing a program with Walmarts
Mm-mm,
to do
no.
that. Is it a full size Walmart or is it just a small one?
Uh, I'm not sure. I think it's might be a smaller one. I know the Meyer is a small one.
Okay. I think it would be worth it to go like on Walmart and I just do Walmart art program and you can sign up and you can just insert and show them where because now they used to I've done a few Walmarts and I just design it digitally and they print it off on the wall. So I did our Springfield one and then several other ones, but then they decided that they're going to be hiring local for every single one of them. So
Okay.
if yours has one, if they're yours is on the list, I know that they're still doing them too. They've done it
Oh,
for like
okay.
2 years now, and they're still because I was talking to another artist who just did her local Walmart, and I was like, oh, great. And but yeah, they pay like $800, and then you do a really simple design that'll probably take you one day, and then they print it off, and so you don't even paint it. So they print it off at their site. So if you just tell them where you are, if that one's on the list, they'll be like, okay, great, you're the artist for that area.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you know where I can find that list?
Let me
I mean, if not,
just
you can just like send it to me in Messenger. I was just curious.
yeah, yeah, if anything, or I'll just forward
Okay.
you the email that I got from them or
Okay.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd be interested to see if it's at least on the list.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I don't know that I have seen a list at all,
Oh,
but they
okay.
they had where you can just sign up, to be an artist, and then they'll contact you, I think, if they're wanting to do it in that area. But yeah.
Cool. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what else do we have to talk about?
I think that's about all the questions I had for you. So if you have
Okay.
any other anything else that you want to like parting words of wisdom, I'm down for.
Okay, yeah. No, you're doing great, like, especially in the area that you're in, oh my gosh.
I'm
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
when I
I
tell
think
people it's a small area, I'm like, I mean, it seems like a big area because it's the biggest area that's like right here, and like we do have like some of the bigger stuff, like I said, like the Walmart and the Meijer, and like we have a Starbucks and the Meijer,
yeah.
but which is a very recent. Like we only got a Meijer like a couple years ago. Um, that's where we're at. So I'm like, there's not as like many people here to ask for, and then the ones that I do, like most of them aren't interested or they just don't have the profits to support that. So I was thinking, like, I'm like, maybe I do need to go to the bigger areas, so I will definitely be trying that because I was kind of where I was like, okay, I've really tried here and like it's just like maybe it'll pick up to the point where it'll be enough to support me, but at the time it's just not, and I need it to move along a little faster than it's been moving.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you could even just do, 2 projects a month in,
Right.
the
Yeah,
other
that would be
towns.
huge. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, like I'm not expecting like overnight success or anything, but it is tiring, like working as much as I am. And then like with being an adult and like having other things that I'm doing, it's like this has been going on for a while and like I'm not lazy. I'm like more than willing to do the work. I just got to get the work.
Yeah, and it's just so tough in an area like that. It's yeah.
Right.
No, you're definitely on an uphill battle, but yeah, I think just doing like as much as you can in your area, which you are. I think there's a couple other people that will go for windows, but and then for just kind of yeah for the big mural jobs, just somewhere. So I think thumbtack is going to be your answer
Okay.
to this for sure,
Okay. That'll
because you have
definitely
several
sign.
yeah, you have several, like, window and just I mean, you can be picky with it too, like like, price it up, like, if that way you're like, "Okay, it's worth it to travel," don't
Okay.
I would say it's okay to, like, take the lower jobs where you're at because it's home and you're building your
Right.
stuff for but, like, the other
Well,
yeah,
and
I
I've
think
been doing that, but there comes a point when it's like, okay, like, well, now I kind of like I've been doing that. Now I
yeah.
need to get some actual good paying jobs for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no. Well, now you have a good set for like pitching and like you've shown what you can do. So now it's like, okay,
Right.
let's get the bigger jobs and like schools would be like you could practice pitching to the schools in your area and see like
Okay.
what kind of things get bites and um especially have you if you especially if you get one school in the area and then you can use that as credibility to go get the other ones too like oh I just completed a mural for Hollister School or whatever and like would yeah something I don't know say something about Hollister School is putting a lot of focus on um, enhancing their sports area and I wanted to look and see if you had any areas that you're wanting to enhance this year or something like that. Be like, look, they're
Right.
doing it. It's like that social thing. It's like, look,
Right. Well, that's what I
you're
was
a neighbor.
hoping for with the windows was that like after I got a few, I was gonna be like, see, everyone else is doing it. Like, don't you want to too? And they're like, no. Okay.
Mm. Maybe maybe since they didn't have it though, maybe they since they didn't have it for a year, they'll be like maybe their customer said something and now they're like, okay, maybe I should
I
bring it back.
tried that this spring though. I was like, I'd like let it go for like a couple, like for like the Christmas season, and then this spring I'm like, okay, and they're like, no, okay. So I'll definitely like try the thumbtack thing. I'll like do all like I've been writing down like some of the stuff that you've been talking about, and I'll give those things a try, and like hopefully that'll definitely get me some more clients.
Yeah, definitely. Well, keep me updated.
For
And
sure.
yeah, okay, for sure.
Thank you
Like
so
message
much
me.
for Yeah, thank you so much for like talking with me about this and giving me some
Yeah.
new ideas, because it's just I feel like I'm kind of running into a dead end where it's just like very slowly picking up, and I'm like, okay, I need some new ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, keep me updated on Instagram. Like yeah, obviously messaging me on there is the best route, but yeah,
Okay.
just be like, I don't know, even if you get one, be like, okay, good, it's
I
working.
got one.
Like
I got one.
I want to know. Yeah.
That's how I feel every time. Every time I get one, I text my mom like, I got one. She's like,
Yay.
yay.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Just all of the things. And if you have some confusion about like what the email should say or something, be like, just like screenshot it to me or something. Like, be like, hey, is this right? And
Okay.
I'll be like, change that real quick. And they're like, okay, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That would be helpful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, have a good rest
Awesome.
of your day and good luck. And I'm sure it's only gonna get better from here because we've kind of passed, like the slow season of the year. Now we're like
Right.
starting to get into the less slow season because
Right.
I have it too in my area. Like I don't, it's like just not as busy in January, February.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, honestly, after the 46 commissions, like 3 craft shows and 5 window jobs, I was okay with like not doing anything during January. It's like I just need to like vegetate.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's
I
starting
just
to
need
get
like a whole
warm.
week, like a whole month to just like not do anything, but I'm ready again.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, and it's starting to
Well,
get warmer and, like, people yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I think this is
hoping.
gonna be a good year for you then.
I'm hoping so. Like fingers crossed. Like Liz, my goal is like end of the year part time. Like I am trying.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, let's keep in touch and have a good rest of your day.
Sounds
Bye.
great. Thank you so much.
Sure
Bye.
thing. Bye.